Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. It's Tuesday. It's time for another couple of your questions. And what a couple of wonderful questions we have this week. There is no shortage of wonderful questions, though, so we're never short of material. And I'm sure you've got wonderful questions of your own. So if you do, which I'm sure you do, here's how you send them our way.
You can call in and leave us a voicemail on 013 808 0035 or go to propertyhub.net/ask. That's propertyhub.net/ask, and you can leave us a voice message that way as well. Super simple. You don't have to do your hair or makeup or anything like that. It's just audio, so you can look scruffy like we do when we record the podcast, and you can get your question in. That's exactly what this person's done, but this person hasn't left their name, so we'll make one up. So let's listen to the question in from Beatrice.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Thanks for your great podcast. I am a first-time investor looking for something that will build a bit of capital growth, but also some rental yield. I was wondering if now is a good time to buy a flat. There seems to be a real surplus of them on the market. They're not moving very quickly. Seems like some deals can be done, particularly in the southeast, which is where I'm looking. So I just wondered on your thoughts on that. Any guidance you have would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Beatrice. Great question. And yes, I agree with the premise of your question. You're right that relative to houses, flats have not been selling as well recently. But as we covered on the podcast before, we believe that this is just temporary and therefore it creates a little bit of an opportunity. Often in property and in investing in general, when you're willing to go against the crowd a little bit, be a bit contrarian, that's where the opportunities are. So why are flats not moving as readily at the moment? Well, it's pretty obvious. It's the same thing that's been driving the market for the last year. It's people deciding that they want more space. Some people moving out of cities because they don't have to go to the office every day. And therefore, the housing market has gone a bit bonkers. But it's primarily houses with a good amount of outdoor space that have been the beneficiaries, especially in the southeast where you are. Now, if you believe that that is a permanent change to how society wants to organise itself, then maybe things can stay that way. But we don't. But the evidence is already showing that flats are coming back. I don't have the exact data sources to hand, but recently it was reported that prices in cities were picking up faster than outside, and rental demand for apartments in big cities like Manchester has really exploded recently. Even in London, where rents have really struggled over the last couple of years, things are coming back as well. So you could take the view that now is a good time to be getting into that type of investment, because there is an opportunity to do a deal, whereas in other markets it's a lot harder at the moment, and yet you're not going massively against the crowd because those early indications are there that everything's going to pick up again. And if you can manage to get a deal of any kind in the current market, which is not easy to do, I would definitely encourage you to do so, and you would have done very well, because we're out there doing this every day, and getting deals in this market is not easy. So, Beatrice, thank you for your question. Seems like you're on the right track, and good luck.
Okay, next up, this person has remembered to put their name in, so let's listen to Oliver's question.
Hi Rob and Rob, my name's Oliver. I'm 26 years old from North Wales. Just listened to your latest podcast about the upcoming boom, and my question is now the right time to get into property investing, or is it more wise to wait a couple of years and then get into property investing? Thanks a lot. Love your show.
Oliver, another great question, and you're not going to be alone in asking this. There's going to be plenty of people asking this now and over the coming months and years, because people see a boom and go, haha, should I wait until the boom's finished, because after a boom will come a crash, and then I can pick up some deals? So, are you on the right track? I think not, my friend. I think not. Now, I'm not Mystic Meg, and I can't promise you that a crash is not going to occur in the next 2 years. However, I don't expect it. And actually, I expect quite the opposite to happen to a crash, which is a boom, and a boom continuing for a good number of years yet. So every day, never mind every year, every day you hold off, you hesitate in a boom market is a day that's costing you money. Sounds quite dramatic, but it's true. That's just the reality of it. So the quicker you can get exposure into the property market, the better, if you believe what I believe. Now, we're all our own people, and you have to make your own investment decisions. And if you truly believe a crash is around the corner, then you must act accordingly. But for me, if I was in your position, I'd be trying to get exposure to the property market as quickly as I can. And this is whether you're trying to get on the property ladder as an owner-occupier or as an investor. The sooner you do it, the better. You may need to change your goals and aspirations. You might have wanted a 2-bed apartment to start with, and you haven't got the funds ready to go. Well, if you can get into a 1-bed apartment, then I'd say that's better than holding off and waiting. Just getting exposure right now is going to benefit you. You may think, oh, what's the harm? What's another year going to cost me? Well, if you say a property is worth £200,000 and the market continues to grow at the pace it is right now, which is roughly 10%, depending on who you listen to, that same property will cost you £20,000 more next year, which is a wage for a lot of people. It's a significant sum. So I'm not trying to scare you or push you into action that's going to cost you money. You've still got to do your research. You've still got to follow all the steps we've talked about in the podcast so many times. But if you can make a move, if you can get exposure to the property market one way or another, then do it, because now is a great time, in my opinion, to invest.
Well, there you go. More questions answered, and we'll be back to do it all again next Tuesday. Before that, though, we'll see you on Thursday for the Property Podcast. Until then, enjoy your week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.